So now we're on the kit. It's going to take you through some need-to-know grooves, starting with the quarter note groove. So that's just this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's called that because you're playing quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass drum and snare drum on the 1, 2, 3 and 4. So bass drum on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Snare drum on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just build up the speed as you're getting used to that. Make sure that your technique's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy peasy. Next one, 8th note groove. Almost the same, except 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You put that and between the numbers. And you're playing twice as many notes, 8th notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Still count to 4, just put ands between them. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Put the bass drum on the snare drum, same place as you would for a quarter note groove. Just the hi-hat's doing 8th notes instead. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the groove that you'll hear the most in pop music. Particularly it's like Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. Yeah, shitloads of grooves. So learn that one. Next one, 16th note groove. This one's going to be tough. So that's 1 eander, 2 eander. Just count that in your head. Instead of 1 and 2 and, it's 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So just count that. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Try and do that with one hand if you can't. 2 hands is fine. So you'll be going between the snare drum and the hi-hats. Just 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. That's fine. But do try and use one hand eventually. Like, start with that if you need to, but then eventually move on to the one hand, because it is very useful to be able to just play with the one hand 16th notes. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So that's the quarter note, 8th notes and 16th note grooves. Practice around doing that. Practice fills around that. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 1 E and a, 3 E and a, 1 and 2 and a, 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2. So now we'll go through a 6/8 groove. This is where you start to consider different time signatures. I wouldn't go too deep into loads of odd time signatures yet. You know, there's 5/8 and 7/8 and 6/8 is what we're going to be looking at this time. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got a kind of swing to it, and it's you're counting in threes really. And you'll hear that a lot in slower songs, like or in jazz, it could be really fast, like I say jazz because that's where it's most common, but it could be in any genre. Yeah, largely that is quite a bit of a slower groove, so I would practice that slower, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very ballady kind of groove. So yeah, that's 6/8. It's a 6/8 groove. Now we'll talk about linear grooves. And now linear grooves is a groove in which you're not playing any of the instruments at the same time. You'll be playing the hi-hat, snare drum and bass drum, but separately. So this is like the most simple linear groove I can think of. It's like very popular disco groove. So bass drum, hi-hat, snare drum, hi-hat, that's your linear groove. Just practice that. Mess around with other stuff. Sort of think about how you can put it into fills. I'll show you one that I do all the time. Do all sorts of stuff with linear grooves. Go around the kit, it's really funky, it's really cool, and it helps a lot with your coordination. So you'll be sort of switching between linear and non-linear can really help your coordination. So there are all the grooves I'm going to go through now. Hope this ended up being useful for you, and see you next time.